Hey everyone, welcome back to the Nina Gervase Show. Today we're going to explore something that's happening in my life right now, and I bet it's happened in your life as well, and it might even be happening at the same time it's happening to me. So let's dive right in. This is the idea of having conflict with somebody else in your life that is actually bringing to the surface things that you yourself need to work on. So I'll give you an example. Right now, I'm just having a little bit of a disagreement, hard time with something that one of my friends did and affected me very much in my heart, kind of like a stab wound to the heart where I was like woken up in a way that I had not actually seen before. And it was an awakening to both what's happening within the friendship, but then also what's happening within myself. So let me explain. As you know, I have recently turned 50 years old, and I have made it a mission to make the next 50 years of my life, yes, I will live to 100 and beyond, to make the next 50 years of my life very intentional. I've said it time and time again that I feel that the first 50 years of my life happened to me, autopilot, things happening. I may have tried to direct my life in the way that I wanted it to go. However, there was not as much intentionality in my first 50 years as I promise you there will be in the next 50 years. And that also has to do with self awareness. So, when there is a conflict that stabs you in the heart, that awakens you in a way, it's bringing to light a lot of things. It is a shaking you up, that moonstruck slap in the face kind of moment of wake up, snap out of it. You really need to start to look internally at what it was within yourself that brought this conflict to the surface, because there's always two parties in every situation, and how it is that you can resolve this situation so that you are a better person going forward. It was funny. Somebody asked me the other day, hey, how's everything resolving with you and your friend? And I looked at that person and I said, well, there's two sides to this. There's the resolution, we've made peace, everything is fine, that friendship moves forward. But then there's the side of the internal conflict, the awakening. What did I bring to the table that caused a conflict? What was it that I had going on within me that caused the situation to occur in the first place? And that's what I want to talk to you about today. It's absolutely looking internally and saying, what is it that I can be accountable for? What is it that I see as a pattern that I continue to repeat over and over again that maybe brings these kinds of conflicts to the light over and over again with different friends, different people? What is it about myself that I'm doing or not doing in certain situations that's allowing this to happen? And that's like a really deep, long, in my opinion, internal process to really weed through. It's not something you're going to get an answer to just by meditating for, 20 minutes once. It's something that you're going to have to peel back the layers on because you've had years of conditioning yourself, habits that you've developed that have led to your behaviors, right? Like our behaviors are years of conditioning. So I say this because I have been friends with this person since I was very young. And that friendship has developed into more of a family relationship. It's not just friends or whatever, it's much, much deeper than that. So I have grown up with this person. And when you grow up with people, you get used to each other's quirks. You kind of let things go or whatever the case may be because, well, you love the person. You've been together for hundreds of years at this point, right? It feels like this is because we have such a great friendship. But also, that allows things to slide and become mundane in a way that you shouldn't allow yourself to be as a person, right? Don't allow yourself to take advantage of friendships or that sort of thing. So, when I had to think about this friendship and think about myself, I had to say, all right, what do I do that caused this behavior to occur with the other person? What is it that I brought to the table so that I can definitely consider my actions in the broader spectrum? Because yes, we may have made peace, but now I need to stop this pattern. How many of us actually stop and ask ourselves this each day? How many of us actually say, there's a bigger picture here, and I don't want to take those patterns and those behaviors into the next 50 years of my life? It doesn't have to be that you've turned 50 and you've had this awakening of how you want to behave for the next however many years. It's simply that moment in time that you stop and you say, no more. I'm going to really dive deep into myself, take accountability for my actions or inactions. I'm going to see my patterns. And what I don't like, I'm going to consciously change. I'm going to make it purposeful. I'm going to sit there and really have intentionality and positive momentum going forward in my life. Now, listen, everybody's human. We're going to slip back into conditioned old behaviors. This is natural. This is normal. We all do it. The reason that we do some of those conditioned old behaviors is, well, they protected us. They kept us safe all those years. They kept us from getting hurt in some way. Little did I know what I was doing was also perhaps hurting somebody else. So while your behaviors are ingrained in you over years and years of conditioning to protect you, quote unquote, is it really? Are those behaviors protecting you, or will it finally come to light that it's hurting you in some way? And the best thing that you can do is to sit back and take accountability in situations where there's problems, disagreements, or whatever. Stay quiet, get deep within yourself and examine it and say, what was my pattern? What do I acknowledge? What can I change so that I move forward with peace and intentionality and awareness? So that's what I have for you today. I really hope that you take some time to think about anything that's happening in your life at the moment that you want to really take some time to examine. One of the things that I'm doing is examining breath work with a somatic healer, hoping that that can help me clear my mind, bring some things to light that I was keeping suppressed and down deep because it was easier, right? Those behaviors were easier patterns to keep down deep and not acknowledge. But now I can't turn a blind eye to it. Now I see it. I need to heal, right? A lot of us have to heal from conditioned behaviors that have hurt us. Healing is one thing, then acknowledgement and change is another. So it's a long process. I'm not telling you this is something that's going to be easy or fast or any of that, but I am telling you that as strong, independent women, it is our job to work on ourselves, first and foremost, for our own self, our health, our mental health, our physical health, and for the relationships that we have in this world. When we are strong and independent women, we project so much out there, and people sometimes are intimidated by it. But let me let you know, they are watching us. They are watching how we react, how we behave. And a lot of people will decide how they're going to behave with you because of that. So I want better relationships with myself and with others. I want peace. There won't always be peace, for Lord's sake, we know that. But we do need to heal ourselves. We do need to focus on how we, as strong, independent women, move forward in the world with awareness and intentionality. All right, guys, I can't wait to see you on the next episode. Thank you so much for listening to the Nina Gervase Show. Over and out.